In this tutorial video, we will be looking at the steps involved in editing PDFs and protecting those PDFs once they've been edited and ready for distribution. Okay, let's begin with how to edit PDFs. First, click on Tools in the tabs bar on the landing page to go to Tools View. Then click on the icon Edit PDF. Now we're in the Edit PDF workspace, where you can edit text and images in a PDF file. Click on Select a File to select the PDF file you'd like to edit. Select the file you want to edit from the Open File dialog box. In my case, I'm going to open a file called Summer 2021 Olympics. Here it is, and then I click Open. The file you selected now appears in the Edit PDF workspace, ready for editing. But before we start editing, I want to show you a couple helpful tips. Let's start with the anatomy of the Edit PDF workspace. We have the editing toolbar to the top here with all the various editing tools, which we'll explore in a bit. Then on the right, we have the formatting pane or bar. Everything's grayed out right now, but I'll explain why that's so in a bit. Thirdly, we have the PDF document in the middle here. And one cool thing that Adobe Acrobat Pro does, as you can see here, is that it automatically generates text or editing boxes that it presumes you'd want to edit. If there were images on this document, it would highlight that too. In this first image up here on the left, the format box is grayed out even though Adobe Acrobat Pro identified this area for editing. Okay, so let's look at how to activate the format pane here on the right. I've pulled out just this little piece of the PDF file to explain how to do this. In the first image over here where my pointer is, you'll see that the format box is grayed out, even though the Adobe Acrobat Pro identified this area for editing. We have to wake up this text box by clicking on it. Once you click on it, you will see the gray handles turn to blue selection handles. And then you will see the icons here come alive in the format pane here on the right. Once the format box has been activated, you can then begin to format all of the text as you wish. Okay, so we all know that sometimes we can get edit happy and edit something and then we change our minds about it after. So of course we need to do that undo edit. There are no undo or redo operations within the Edit PDF workspace. So you have to click on Edit up here in the menu bar, where you'll see once you click on Edit, you'll get a drop-down window and you will see that you have both the undo and redo options. Alternatively, you can use the undo and redo keyboard shortcuts for both Windows and Mac. Alright, so let's let the editing begin. Let's look at the editing toolbar in detail. I've itemized the 7 editing tools that we're going to look at step by step. We have Edit Text, Add Image, Add Link, Crop Pages, Add Header or Footer, and Add Watermark. Let's start with editing and formatting existing text in your PDF file. Click on the Edit tool icon, then select the area of text you want to edit. Remember, it's only when you click on that area of text that it wakes up the formatting pane. You can edit spelling errors, you can add text to the existing text, and of course, format the text just like you would in any other word processing application like Word or PowerPoint. Okay, let's look at how to add text to your PDF file. So first of all, we click on Add Text. And then we simply drag your cursor and release to create a text box. Then, of course, insert your text like I did here. And at this point, because we have the selection handles now turned to blue, you can reposition the text box and even rotate if you wished. Of course, you can also add extra formatting that you may need to your newly added text. Okay, let's add an image to our PDF file. click on Add Image, and the Open File dialog box opens for you to select and insert the image that you want. My file is all about Canada and the Summer 2021 Olympics, so I select an image of Team Canada to add to my worksheet, and then I click Open. The image now appears in the document, and I'm free to move the image around and of course resize it. You'll see as well that now when an image is selected, and you see the selection handles here, that the Object section of the Format pane is now activated, and you can perform several edits to the image, as I'll detail in a bit. Again, I've snipped out just the section I want us to focus on in terms of editing images or objects in Adobe Acrobat Pro. This image here is the Flip Vertical tool, which will allow you to flip the image vertically on its horizontal axis. The Flip Horizontal tool flips the image horizontally on the vertical axis. The Rotate Counterclockwise tool rotates the selected image 90 degrees in a counterclockwise direction. And of course, the Rotate Clockwise tool will rotate the image in the opposite direction. You can crop or clip the selected image to trim off whatever you don't want. And finally, you can replace the selected image with another one of your choice with the Replace Image tool here. This will of course require another extra step of locating the new image using the Open dialog box. Okay, let's move along here to see how to add and edit links. We go up to the Editing toolbar and click on the drop-down arrow to open up the different Add Link options. So we have our drop-down menu here. I'm going to click on the first option, Add or Edit Web or Document Link. But in this tutorial video, I'm going to focus just on how to add a web link. Once you select your option, Adobe Acrobat Pro, as you see here, automatically selects the text that it presumes you want to add links to. But you can go ahead and select your own text or image to add a link, like I'm going to do up here with the Canadian athletes. I highlight the text by dragging my cursor over it and releasing. Immediately, a dialog box opens up that provides you with several options for creating the link. Whether you want to specify the link appearance up here with these options, or specify the link actions down here with these options. Let's first look at the link appearance options in more detail. If you click on Link Type, you can choose whether you want a visible rectangle or an invisible rectangle around your link. I recommend the visible rectangle, so your student knows very clearly there's something to click here. Next, we look at the Highlight Style options. In addition to a visible rectangle, if you select that, you may also want to further highlight the presence of the link. You can choose None, Invert, Outline, and Inset. I'm going to choose Invert, so there's a bit of a 3D effect. Next, you can choose the line thickness, and these are pretty straightforward: thin, medium, and thick. You can further stylize your lines as solid, dashed, or underline. For our final link appearance options, we have color. Just choose the color of the line style you selected. To finish off all the Create Link options, we have the Link Action options down here in the dialog box. I tend to select Open a Web Page, as that's what we'd like our students to go to, the web page. Then when we're all settled on our options, we click Next. A window pops up that asks you to enter the URL or the web address for the link. I tend to use copy and paste, so I go to my browser, in my case Google Chrome, and I search for the official Canadian Olympic site, which you see here, olympic.ca. I highlight and copy the URL, and then I paste the URL into the dialog box in Adobe Acrobat Pro, and then I click OK. Now you can see that the link has been successfully added. You see that our blue line is here that we selected from the link options, and when you hover the cursor over the text, you see the caption with the web address appear. Okay, so let's look at how to crop pages, which is a fairly simple step that you probably do already in other applications. Select Crop Pages in the Editing toolbar, and then select the area of text you want to crop by dragging your cursor around the text or image you want to crop. You can resize your selection to crop a bigger or smaller area. Let's move on now to how to add or edit a header or footer to your PDF file. We see a drop-down arrow for inserting a header or footer, so we click on the drop-down arrow to see what the drop-down menu gives us. We have three options. We can add, update, or remove a header or footer. I'm going to go with the first option to add a header. Here a dialog box opens that wants us to make selections about what we want to add. There are lots of options to play around with, but I'm going to keep it simple. I'm going to add a header to my PDF document. I type in link home study and you will immediately see the preview of your added header in the preview section. Once you're okay with its placement, just click OK. Now here you see our newly added header, link home study, at the top of our document. Now we're going to look at the last editing tool option in this tutorial video, add a watermark. Similar to the add header or footer tool, we have three options, add, update, remove. I'm going to select the first option, add. Here we have a fun dialog box open with lots of different options for how you want your watermark to appear. Just for demonstration purposes, I'm going with a very simple watermark. I type for fun in the text box, then I select just two options for the watermark appearance. I choose a 45-degree rotation, and then I choose an opacity of just about 26%. Again, you get a chance to preview the results of your options before it's input into the actual document. I'm satisfied with all the selections I've made, so I click OK. And here you go. We have our For Fun watermark splashed across our PDF document. Now we're going to look at how to protect our PDF documents in a couple of very quick, simple steps. Once you have a document open in your document pane, you can go ahead to the Tools pane or the Tools bar on the right and select the Protect icon. If you have an expanded Tools bar, you will see the Protect word or term next to your Protect icon. And as you can see, Protect prevents others from copying, printing, and editing the information in PDFs. When you click the Protect tool icon, we now have the Protect icon toolbar. And you can see the three different ways you can protect your PDF document. You can protect using a password, you can remove hidden information, and then you have a bunch of advanced options for protecting your document. For this tutorial video, I'm going to make it pretty simple and just go with Protect Using Password option. So I click on this. Then you have the Protect Using Password dialog box open, and its instructions are very basic. The most obvious option for requires user to enter password for would be the second option, Editing. So select Editing. Then type and retype your password, making sure that your password is a strong password and not a weak one. And of course, the application will prompt you in the right direction. Then click Apply. A status bar appears in the bottom right corner stating that your file has been successfully protected from editing using password. You have just completed the tutorial video for learning how to edit and protect PDFs using Adobe Acrobat Pro 2020.